Welcome to 251 Talk Radio. Today is Men's Mental Health Monday, November 14th, 2022. I am Pro Pittman here on your stereo land, live to you, or on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're getting this content. I have my brother with me, my partner in peace, and not my partner in crime, Venie The Great. How are you doing, my brother? Good to hear from you. See you.
Thanks for the introduction. I'm actually doing lovely for a Monday. So tough
Excellent.
day of the week, and I had a good day today.
Do you normally have the Mondays?
The case of the Mondays.
The case of the Mondays? Do you normally
It's,
have to deal with that?
sometimes when I can't find my stapler.
The
Yes,
office
run
space
day.
joke. Yeah.
I work in healthcare. Mondays is always insane, but it's
Mm.
how you deal with it. So
I wonder in healthcare that does make a difference. I guess everyone's like they did some wild stuff over the weekend and like on Monday like everyone's like coming in with their injuries or or just the appointments I guess that are actually set for the Monday. I guess the middle of the night will be crazier for that type of stuff. But I digress. No, yeah, man, I can imagine, especially with the what time you go to work in the morning.
3:30. I start at
Sheesh,
3:30. Yeah,
sheesh.
three
What is
thirty in
that
the
like? So
morning.
what time do you wake up?
Anywhere from 2:30 to 2:45.
Mm,
Um, but it's great because then I have time to do things like this. During my day, I have my whole
right.
day ahead of me now.
True
So
indeed.
it
That
works.
leads
It took some
into
time to get that used to that sleep schedule though. Took
you're right.
took a
That's
while.
what I was gonna. That kind of leads into one of my first points is sleep. How important sleep is for us, and especially a person like in our age who still feel like the grind is just so prevalent. We got to grind, so we want to get up early. We want to stay up late, and not and take care of things and knock out as many projects and tasks as possible throughout our day. But the the magic of getting a good night of sleep, choosing when you can wake up, whether it's you're gonna get with that time or not, but having the choice of waking up on your own accord, and getting up to handle business. I can imagine how important that is for a man who is probably going through something. At the same time, waking up when it's still dark like that got to do something to your psyche. Waking up and it's like
Yeah,
it's it still looks like it's in the middle of the night.
and one thing about just sleep and everything is like we do this like subconsciously. It's almost like in men, we don't talk about that like, oh, I didn't get that much sleep, or whatever, because we're men, we can handle anything, you know what I mean? And whole time we get passive with our sleep, not understanding that our schedule of sleep and the difficulty of sleeping is part of your mental health. So like we need to bring more awareness to what we are going through in ourselves, not just to our loved ones, but to ourselves. You know what I mean? So if you're struggling with sleep, man, make yourself aware of that. You know what I'm saying? And try to get help and information on how you can fix it.
I think it's the first thing, one of the main things that we can do is start the day off having gotten whatever think is a good night's sleep. Some people say it's 8 hours, some say seven. Some guys work out five and they're cool.
Yes,
I've had
sir.
times in my life where I did 4 to 5, and popped up and did what I had to do. Maybe I was worse for wear, but I didn't know I was still accomplishing things. But I've learned, how much better life can be for me when I do, for one, have somewhere comfortable to sleep, a bed that's sufficient for our bodies, not just sleeping on anything, what I'm saying? Like, and
Yes, sir.
wondering why we can't sleep well. There's a whole idea of sleep apnea, which is, prevalent in my family. So I have to sometimes, I worry about that. I need to get tested for that and go get a sleep study. My grandfather had it, you know what I'm saying? Um, and all types of things that go along with interrupting your sleep. I sleep very well, like, but at the same time, I wake up at the drop of a dime. I can hear anything and pop,
Yes.
I pop right up, you know what I'm saying? So I have to sleep with a sleep machine, like, like a little sound machine, you know what I'm saying? They got the jungle
Mm-hmm.
and they got the stream, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And
Trust me, I have to sleep with that too because I married a
hey,
woman that needs that stuff. So I can relate.
which one do you use? I use white noise. I use the fake fan.
She used the well, she actually uses the
Yeah.
real fan, which is killing me right now, but it's okay. And
Real fan and the fake fan.
man, and then she used rain.
Oh, yeah, the rain one. Yep, yep, for sure.
Hmm.
Those come in handy. I remember when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I used to try to go to sleep listening to music, and I can't do that because I listen to the music, and I won't I won't fall asleep. I'm actually too busy listening to the songs. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, whatever we can do, man, to capitalize on the time that we have available to sleep, is very important. Not just for us, but for
Yeah.
those around us, whether it's coworkers, family members, our children. Popping up and being able to lead, with strength and not be overtired and you're able to actually tackle the day goes a long way when it comes to just being a man. Period. You know, certain things nobody want to hear you whine about. Nobody want to hear you bitch about. No one cares you didn't get enough sleep. No one cares, about certain
Hmm.
things. So you got to make sure you get them because you going around dead tired. Oh, I didn't get enough sleep. No one's gonna care because they got theirs probably. So,
Yeah.
it's I got my
Or
sleep.
you got that.
Shit.
Or you got that one guy. "Yeah, I can operate off for 4 hours. The hell are you talking
Oh, I
about?
don't.
You know,
Oh, I just
like,
need 3 hours and I can pop shit. Not me. No, sir.
mm-mm. I need a
Hey, I get.
full. I need about anywhere from 6 to 8.
Yeah, yep. Then I'm good. And I'm what's great is I can say I'm a morning person. I'm not a get out of bed person, but I am a morning person. So I will snooze as much as possible. But once I pop up and once I put some water on my face, it's time to go. It could be 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I'm actually happy I'm up early. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just hard
I'm
sometimes
hoping
to.
you brushing that dragon off your tongue too.
Come on, man. Come on, dog.
Don't just be splashing it with the face. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
I know. I
Everybody
have
got
to.
that morning breath, bro. I don't care who you are, what your dental plan like. It's there.
Morning breath feel like to someone you laying next to. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to. No, we my 5 year old we're on our ass about brushing her teeth, so we gotta be examples. You know what I'm saying? We brush them together, brush them with her, just brush, 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 brush. Because I went so long like ignoring dental work. Not that I actually needed it, I just ignored it until it was too late, and then I had to get it all done in like 1 year.
Yeah.
So I want to keep that up, and I want my daughter to have not deal with that shit either. But I
Man, you
digress.
should have told me something, man. I got some pliers and a
See,
couple of paint brushes. I could have hooked you
see,
up.
see. What did when you was a kid? Did your mom ever tie the string to the door, close the door on you?
Hell nah. My dad used to be like, I got these 2 fingers. They'll come out with this, and I'm like, oh
Yo,
no.
I have vivid memories of my grandma. Like, we were all scared to go see her when we had a loose tooth. Like, don't go see your grandma. Oh, she gonna pull it out. Oh, don't go over there. And you go over to Granny. I got a loose. Oh, let me see, baby. It's okay. Let me just see, real. Let me just. Just yank that shit right out your
Give
mouth.
me
Hey, she would
give me
not
them
play, yo.
pliers.
Hey, you fine, baby. You all good. No, no.
I'm bleeding
And
from my mouth. What you talking about?
oh man, but no, yeah, like I said, man, I'm so happy that we're back here. Once again, guys, you're listening to Men's Mental Health Monday on 251 Talk Radio with Pro Pittman and Vinny Venturini, the Great. People call you Vinny sometimes. It's Vini because your last name is
It
like
is. It
right. It's
is.
Venturini, so it's not Venture. Well, what would you Vinny? Yeah. So I guess Vinny would work.
Man, I have an odd story about that.
That's how you spell it, I guess.
The person that actually called me that, we are actually enemies right now. Them
Enemies,
Sterling
really?
boys. Yeah. them them so like he's like, man, I can't walk around calling you Anthony. That don't sound right. From now on your name is Vini. And that's where it came from.
For now on, your name is Vinny.
Uh, so what happened was
Oh shit.
all the black people knew that the Beanie meant like Beanie Siegel. Like that's where he came out, Beanie, because I was a
Oh,
rapping
okay.
dude. So like they always say my flow, your flow, the truth. You instead of Beanie, you Beanie Siegel. All that. So
I
so
love
I
it.
got that, and
I,
then
I
and then
didn't know about
and
the
then
Beanie Siegel part of this. So this is great.
and
Okay,
then
keep
like
going.
and then like the white side they Vinny. That's Vinny. Like, and that's fine too. That's fine too, because like, it is what it is. I just don't want to be called a bitch. So like
Shit.
so
Oh shit. Well, by all means, Vinny Siegel. I'm gonna start calling you Vinny Siegel now. I like that. I didn't know that was part of it. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out Philly. Um, yeah, man. Men's Mental Health Monday. We are definitely back. If you are hearing this on YouTube or Facebook or any other platform, where you're listening to, whether it's a clip of this or the entire show, the talk radio show, and I would say podcast, but podcasts are more attributed with video nowadays. And I like to say talk
Yes.
radio because I like the idea of not having to take all of your attention. You can still be like, well, doing some laundry or fucking, washing dishes or whatever, and listening to us in the background. And whether you're scrolling through Facebook at the same time, you can do that. You don't have to actually watch us and see what we're doing per se. I could be in my drawers right now. I'm not. I'm not.
Hmm.
I'm just saying. I could and be comfortable, but I'm not. But I'm saying, so I think it's great to call it 251 Talk Radio, which is what we're doing here. Talk Radio for those who are doing other things but listening and trying to get some information, content, and just some love in their life. You know what I'm saying? Men's Mental Health Monday. We've been doing this for over a year and a half here on Stereo. What I was getting to is that if you're listening to this live, we're here on Stereo, the Stereo app. Look it up in your Google Play Store, your App Store. It's
Yes.
a communicative way to do podcasts and just have conversations. You can use it however you want to, but I use it this way to record our podcast live. We have actual live listeners who could be in the room and leave messages while we're here and participate in the actual conversation, which is really cool, which is why I love stereo. So definitely get a stereo account. Join and listen in live if you like to. We'll be doing these Monday, 1:30 Central Time, and then we'll be uploading them to the other platforms later on in the day. Um, but you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, I am Pro Pittman. This is Venie Siegel the Great. Um, um, I'm rolling with that shit. I love that. Um, definitely. I feel like we should all have positive hobbies and things that we can have in our life to help coincide and balance. You know, the bullshit sometimes. And help us get through the days that are stressful, which sometimes they're more than they're not. So, but it's all about a balance, finding a balance within yourself, knowing who you are as a person, and learning how to handle your emotions and deal with what mostly is just fear. When I deal with
Yes.
anxiety, sometimes not depression, because depression I can't help that sometimes. That shit just everything can be great last night, and I wake up and everything sucks, and it's
Yeah.
it's a whole other thing.
Yes,
But
for
far
sure.
as anxiety, um, anxiety comes a lot from fear. False emotion appearing real. However you want to say it. Fear. The idea of losing something or being looked at the wrong way or disrespected or shame or anything like that at all. Men, feel shame and fear a lot, but we tend to push it off a lot. And you got to find the triggers and things that make you feel that fear and learn how to get over the fear and, be on top of your emotions. You know, respond to the situations as opposed to reacting to the situations, which is always, not as easy as it sounds, but it's definitely a work that we need to put in progress and, try to get to the other side of it. Fear goes a long way, when it comes to being anxious and just the fear of, you know, just people you know not understanding who you are as a person and rejecting you. So once you love yourself and find out what you got going on inside yourself that you love, that fear of rejection won't be so real, but it is real for sure.
I think the biggest thing about men and like mental health is that there's a lot of men out here that don't talk about it, don't exist, not aware. So like you can be having signs, the whole time, and you're just not aware that you're going through something mentally. And so I really think that, like what you alluded to earlier, is like you got to look into yourself and understand yourself, and understanding the emotions that are running through you, and understanding where they're coming from, why they're here, and what can you do about it. Because we all are dealing with something, but we all have to manage life while dealing with it. And just like you said, pro, like managing those things, coming up with good habits, and thinking positive things. Like these things right here, even though they're small steps, it's the right step. And I think more of us men need to open up and really understand that, okay, am I feeling angry? Why am I so angry over something so small? You know what I'm saying? Why am I so moody one minute, moody the next? Why am I having difficulty, concentrating or sleeping? You know what I'm saying? Why do I feel sad in a moment where I should be happy? Like all these things is what you have to evaluate to, even notice that you're having a mental problem. So
True, true indeed. Self-awareness goes a long way. Uh Self-accountability too as well, learning when things happen, what part did you play in it, You know,
Yes.
forget,
Accountability. I like that.
yeah, man, forget who's wrong or who's right. You have to find within yourself what's wrong and what's right, and then stand on that. Once you have your sense of what righteousness is, what's right and just, and where you play in there, then you have to stand by it and live. Life is way easier once you pick. I wouldn't say pick a side, but put your foot down when it comes to certain things in life. You know how you feel, you know what you believe in, and you understand other sides and you respect other sides, but you don't let people sway you with pressure. You don't let the fear take you off your square. And a lot of times we'll succumb to fear and sure, and we'll go along with things, and we'll be like, all right, whatever, I'm down. We just to, 'cause we don't want to ruffle feathers. We don't want to shake the room per se. You know what I'm saying? We'll we'll conform. Because of fear, and learning how to be yourself and who you are inside yourself, which is a journey amongst itself that we all should take. When you
Yes,
come back
sir.
out of there, it's easier to interact with the world. And a lot of men, what we always say, we don't say that it's men's mental health because we think only men deal with this. We just understand that women are better with expressing when they're going through something mentally, or reaching out to a friend, and the friends take the time to speak to each other, and they're there for one another. Men, I'm not saying we don't do that, but we wait a lot longer before we reach out. We'll put so much more on our back before we, ask for help, and can deal with a lot of trauma and damage from those type of things. You feel me? So it's important that we understand when the time to reach out is. Also, how much we can hold in and retain, because there's strength in that. At the same time, having a circle of people or someone around you who can listen when you are going through it is very important. So I think as men we need to do these type of things more, have these conversations more, not be afraid of the stigma of being a bitch, quote unquote. A lot of times it ain't other people, it's you. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me
Yes, sir.
wrong. It could be family members, it could be your mom, it could be your girlfriend, whatever, who can emotionally bring you down and make you feel like quote unquote a bitch. As we say as men. You know, um, but really, a lot of times it's the fear inside yourself of letting them down, or of their perception of you, when you should be strong within yourself and you know what you are and what you aren't. So that self-awareness and strength amongst oneself is, I can safely say, one of the most important things. Until I gained a sense of knowledge of self, of who I was and not who I was trying to be, and not what the world was putting upon me. Only then was I able to put my foot down within myself, because I can stand up for myself within the world as well. But I'll, you know, punk myself. I'll put myself down. I'll make myself procrastinate. I'll lose track of things, and it's no one else's fault but me. So having that power within yourself, and that just that mind frame of durability when it comes to emotions is very important, man. Because we'll pump weights all day, you know what I'm saying, for our body
For
and shit.
sure.
We won't do shit to actually work our mind and keep our mind strong and keep our emotions intact. So when things do happen, we're able to respond to them as opposed to react to how it makes us feel. Take a second, breathe, then respond. And then teach those around you, those that love you, those that have the most frequent conversations with you. I.e., your kids, your loved ones, your coworkers. That's who you are, so they know how to deal with you. And then some of those qualities hopefully can rub off on someone else who isn't feeling so strong within themselves. But it's a journey, and it's something that we can't get to overnight. You know what I'm saying? That's a real deal. For real, for real.
I think part of the problem, which is starting to get greater now, but part of the problem is we don't really have outlets like that to
Right. True.
explain what's going on for us just as men. Like women have a lot of support groups, a lot of programs they can go through, stuff like that. Men, we don't have that, but also we don't make ourselves aware that we have something going on.
Right. We
Also,
won't utilize it, even if it's right in our
yeah,
face. Like, yo, there's a group you can go to.
exactly,
Fuck that group.
exactly. And then
Ah.
so, but as men and creators, we got to also create the outlet too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so it makes it even more harder. But this is why we got spaces like now. This is why you guys can come here and enjoy this conversation. You know what I mean? Like listen to our experiences. Maybe there's something that we might say that might you can relate to. Maybe there's somebody listening live on stereo right now that wants to have a conversation also. So it's like everybody has a different perception of how they deal and manage things. It's just what strikes you. But we can't get there if we don't have the outlet. So come enjoy this space. You know what I'm saying? You are my brother. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you
True
going
indeed.
through, I feel you too. Like I'm here, I'm going through it too. Cause it takes one to know one.
Absolutely. I remember when I was a kid, I used to hear that phrase and I didn't know what the fuck it meant. Takes one to know one. Like, what do you? I
Yeah.
would hear it in movies and shit and never got that, Oh, but obviously I
Yeah.
understand what it is now, But it's funny how phrases like that, just jar your memory, and
Jump at you
all,
like, dang.
all the places we've been to. Speaking of that, I'm actually I'm doing a podcast soon, which I would love to have you on multiple times. Um, called Nothing But Nostalgia, where it's just basically me picking a topic and we dive into it from like Clarissa explains it all to gargoyles to fucking Pokemon to you know what I'm saying to
You ain't ready for
NBA
none of
Live
that,
back in
man.
the day. I love that type of shit. So it's good to have those type of things that you draw from those memories, those songs, those smells that take you right back. I bite into a Cadbury egg, the caramel one, and it just takes me right back, to being a kid. It's certain things I eat and certain things I taste that take me back to joy. That sense of just this that love. Whatever type of way the dopamine can come naturally with inside yourself, and you can feel good naturally is
Hmm.
great. Because a lot of times we'll jump into our pleasures. Oh, I gotta get high. I gotta go fuck. I gotta drink something. I gotta stimulate myself any kind of way. Stimulation. Scroll my phone. Scroll, 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 scroll. You know what I'm saying? Like we're addicted to pleasure. You know, I know I am, and there's a balance that we have to find between things that are good for us, which aren't just naturally pleasurable right in your face. Like I love to read. I like to read every day if I can, but picking up my book isn't pleasurable per se. You feel me? As like playing a video game will be, shoom, 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 you know what I'm saying? Like lights and shit in my face, cool things, 4K this, 4K that, going on, shit, trying to get something from a woman. Not trying to, I mean, going to do what we do. You feel me? I'm joking. It's like having sex,
Yeah,
and
cause you
even
know
not
you
even
be
having
trying.
sex.
You be trying.
She be sleep. She be sleep. Even not even like having sex per se. Masturbation too. Like men sometimes masturbate just cause they have a free second because it's easy. It's right there on your phone. You know what I'm saying? So any way you can make yourself feel good, we sometimes do that over the things that are progressive for our brains, for our bodies, for our lives, for our pockets. That sometimes may take some sacrifice. And the point I'm getting to is that I learned about myself this is that sacrifice is a huge part of being a man in your 30s or whatever the case, you know what I'm saying? And because I went through so much sacrifice as a child that I didn't have that I had no choice in, whether it's from, my father dying young, my mother's drug addictions, the moving from house to house to house to house here and there, all the shit I went through as I got older, I was like, well, fuck that. I'm not gonna sacrifice shit. I'm not fuck you mean. I'm not gonna like give up a chance to relax and be comfortable and be calm and safe because I spent half of my life not feeling that way. But excuse me, as I got older, I realized, damn, these are the years where I need to grind more. I need to work harder. I need to put the fucking video game down or stop smoking today and do some nothing. And it's not like it's all we do, but there's days where I know this is a day where I should be working harder on a goal. And you know what I'm saying? Like I need to work harder on this particular thing. It's harder for me to do that because I'm like, no, I'm not going to sacrifice the time I have today to relax because I feel like every day is like could be my last day. So let me relax today and be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And it's a mental thing within my mind that I deal with because my pops died when he was 33. I'm 35. My grandpa
Yeah.
lived to almost 80 years old though, so I have that mix up in my head of shit. Live for today because you could die tomorrow. At the same time, you need to prepare for
Yeah.
the fact that you could be
Yep.
here till you're 80 years old. What do you you gotta So I deal with that a lot, man. Within myself to
Man.
live for today at the same time prepare for tomorrow. It's a hard balance. And I learned that it's hard for me to sacrifice my time to do things that will probably put me on the up and up as opposed to enjoying life. It's a hard duality that I deal with within my mind. Some that I've learned to be true about myself. You know what I'm saying?
I think the biggest thing that I struggle with from day to day is I gotta be high or I gotta smoke before everything that I do. and then like and then I make these mistakes and I'm just like, man, what the fuck? What was I was like, yeah,
the
that's because your
gas,
dumbass
the
smoked,
gas.
nigga. Man, so now I'm in a position where I didn't made a mistake or made somebody feel bad just because I was high.
Yep.
And so now I have to deal with like, like being at work. You know what I mean? When I'm at work, I don't smoke before, but I can't wait till after. You know what I mean? Like, let's get on with the
So,
day, man. And then I got 3 speeding tickets because I've been speeding home to get to my weed.
ooh,
Got a problem?
da 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 da, la
Get your
da
ass out of there,
da 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 da.
man.
Okay.
Hey,
Mhm.
but I'm just saying it's all self inflicted. Like I could
Right.
say, I can blame. I can place blame on something else. Like, oh man, it's just man, life just screwed me over, or I'm just whole
Yeah.
time. Yeah, that's
It's
my
it's
fault.
us. It's yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That's important, bro. That you're able to do that. And it's like there's that snap second when something happens that you immediately want to find someone to blame or something to blame. Like I'll be at work and
Yes.
shit be all fucked up at work and I'll be stressed out and I want to like and I get mad about it, right? And I'm like, damn, this shit ain't, it's not supposed to, you're supposed to be working differently. And I'm not mad at anyone in particular, like a coworker. It's not their fault, but I still want to express that I'm angry. You know what I'm saying? Like I still want to express that I'm
Yep.
upset. But it's like people only allow a man to be upset and feel like if he's blaming it, if there's someone to blame, this person, the white man, the job, my woman, my dog,
Hey,
somebody is the
hey,
reason why. When we put it on ourselves, motherfuckers get scared. Like, oh shit, he's being self
man.
accountable. That means I gotta do the same thing. It freaks people
Hey,
out
but that
because
white
we live in a
man is a
society of
motherfucker.
blamers.
That's all I gotta say.
What you say? The white man's a
That,
motherfucker.
that white man's a motherfucker. Man,
Oh,
shit.
guys, help! But
Cause,
again,
cause
guys,
sometimes
what's up?
history will stress you out. So that's why I said that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend
Oh,
nobody.
we can dive into it to where some of these things may turn into the anger
Yeah,
I'm feeling subconsciously came from what the white man did to me, but what I'm feeling right now and what have I done about it?
yeah,
Like I live in a
shit.
lot of circles where you hear a lot of brothers too. Well, these white people, oh, this white guy, this white dude, this white dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just I feel like we're just blaming. We have no one else to blame, and we damn sure don't want to blame ourselves. Whatever circumstance we was put in, whatever cards we was dealt, you gotta learn how to play that
Mm-hmm.
hand. Being born black, that's a hand. So you gotta learn how to play that motherfucker. You know what I'm
It's a
saying? I
hell of
mean,
a
like,
hand.
you feel me? It is not as easy to play the
Uh,
game, but the game still must be played. You feel me? You gotta learn how to
yes,
be a
sir,
player.
man.
I don't wanna be a player no more. I think
I'm not a
about
player.
the
I just
one
cuss
I
a
can
lot.
live my life. Hey, motherfuckers forgot about Joe. Anyways, guys, welcome to Men's Mental Health Monday, 251 Talk Radio, Pro Pittman and Venie The
Man,
Great. We are
we got a
back here
couple of
on
messages in the
Stereo.
box, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna actually play some messages. I was thinking because this show is not only gonna be on stereo, I won't immediately bust through the messages unless it's pertinent and maybe if it's from a super fan, someone that has subscribed to either of our pages here on stereo.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
then I will play them immediately. But I will make sure the messages get played. It's not like that, guys. I just want to make sure we get our content out, we get the topics out properly. But I also want people to be able to help facilitate these conversations, which is why I love that we're doing it here on stereo. So once again, if you are
Yes,
listening
sir.
to us on YouTube or Facebook and you are like, oh shit, how are those people leaving messages? It's because they're listening to us live on stereo and they're listening to the content as it happens and they're a part of the conversation. So we do have a message from a brother, JT. JT, welcome to the building. This is Men's Mental Health Monday. You are here. We're going to play your
What's
message, brother.
happening?
I'm so happy you were here. Thank you for joining. Let's see what fam talking about.
Bruh, what's going on? I just wanted to give a shout out to the host of the room. This is much needed conversation.
Salute, bro.
But did you really just say Clarissa explains it all? Man, you just took me back. Gargoyles, come on now.
Hell
But this
yeah.
is on a more serious note. This is a much needed conversation. It's thought provoking, and I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm real talk. I'm stressed the fuck out. Like it's a lot going on in my life right now, and it's just good to see like this was right on time that there's outlets because we hold things in, bro, and I know from experience that that's not a good way to be to just hold all that in. So shouts out to this room and this whole process. This is definitely a step in the right direction.
JT, salute, family. Number love, bro.
Salute.
100%, bro. Thank you so much for being here live in the room. Thank you for adding on to the conversation and being transparent. And that's the main thing, bro.
Yes,
We got to
sir.
be transparent, right? Like, fuck the, trying to hide and, the whole idea of we're too tough. I mean, the whole aspect of this show is the idea of men are, we're tough and we don't have to deal with our emotions. The whole cliche idea of where toxic masculinity comes from. We want to bring some nutritious masculinity into the situation. The whole opposite of toxic is nutritious, right? So we want to nurture one another as brothers, especially as black men. You know what I'm saying? And support one another in times of strife and stress, and remind each other that you're not the only one dealing with it, and try to
Yes,
find some
sir.
understanding, to have a conversation, to find some understanding, to give some advice, to teach and to learn, bro. So I'm happy that we're here, bro, that we're back doing this. I'm
Yes,
happy that
sir.
you're here to listen to us, man. Number love, and make sure I give you a follow on here. Thanks for
For
being here,
sure.
brother. Number love, man. I appreciate you, for
And
real. And I
I
hope
want to
whatever you're
chime in.
dealing with, whatever cipher you're dealing with, comes to an end too, and you can, figure out the proper direction to take, bro. Number love. What's up, Vinny?
For sure, man. I want to chime in too, JT. I liked everything that you said in your message, and especially with the holding things in. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, just naturally, just your body holding things in. If you hold your breath, what happens? If you don't release
Mm-hmm.
that, you know what I'm saying? What happens when you hold your pee too long? What happens when you hold a fart? It may sound funny, but bro, when you hold that stuff in, bro, it hurts your inside. So you have to find outlets to release that energy. Whether it's you sitting in a dark room and just saying a whole bunch of stuff that's on your mind and on your heart, just speaking it out with nobody else hearing it to judge you. Sometimes you got to do that. So a lot of people do it through working out. A lot of people play the video game. A lot of people smoke. I mean, there's so many things that we can do as men. You know what I'm saying? That we just like, oh man, I got this energy. I got this weird feeling. Like, how do I release it? That's what you need to chase is the release, and don't chase it into negative things. You got to chase it into positive things. Don't go beat a motherfucker up like, yeah, that felt good. Nah, it's not good. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? But but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes
Yeah,
inhaling and then exhaling. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Taking simple breaths, realizing that, hey man, I'm here, I'm stable, I'm at my core, I'm still standing, I'm still alive. That's the things that we got to bring it back to, especially when we struggling. But holding it in, all it's gonna do is make your fuse shorter. And then what happens when your fuse gets short and you blow up?
true indeed.
So
That's why I'm happy you're here, brother. I'm happy that we have this space open to facilitate conversation of change, of just that, of holding things in, because that's the main issue that it seems like we deal with when it comes to men in this day and age. Is we still feel as much as anybody else, but we hold the shit in. We'll hop
for
on social
sure.
media, and passively aggressively speak about it. You won't be flat out. You know, I'm not saying that every man does well with sitting in a room full of dudes in a circle saying hi. Not everyone can deal with that. Sometimes you need some type of anonymity, to be anonymous. So,
I feel you.
and sometimes we need that idea, of just let me just sit back and listen and just chill. And that's why, if you guys do want to listen to these shows, share these shows. Please share it with someone who maybe wouldn't have sat down and listened to it live. They don't want no one to know they're there, but in their spare time, they'll put their headphones on and they'll listen. And maybe they'll find some semblance, some understanding, some togetherness. It's the whole idea of like, yo, none of this shit we're dealing with is the first time it's been dealt with. There's always someone out there who has experience in getting through things of this similarity. Like I feel like the most important things I've learned sometimes have been from other people who have been through these things. I've read a lot. I've researched a lot. You can Google to your heart, stops beating. But learning from other human beings who have been through these things, learning from other human beings who have been through problems and have succeeded in overcoming them, that's where I feel like I've gotten the most gain, from
Yes,
those type
sir.
of people. So whatever we can do to share our knowledge in the time that we've been here, at least to bring some sense of balance and understanding to another brother. I may not be able to solve your problem, but at least I can tell you that I understand. I've been there too. And let me know when you solve it. Shit. You know, we can, let's share the word. Shit. My main thing I feel like is balance, right? We need balance in everything we do. Equality within ourselves and equality to others that we show it to. But first and foremost, find a balance, find the equality within inside yourself. Find what makes you tick and do it, but don't overdo it. Have a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes a long way in everything. Um, like we said earlier, it's important to have certain hobbies that help you get through, that can help you forget about the time, forget about the day, forget about your stresses. Whether it's, going on a walk, I longboard, you know what I'm saying? I play the game, you know what I'm saying? Twist up something, get in tune with your people. I play music, there's multiple things, but it's also important to have time for your hobbies. I know a lot of people who got shit they like to do, but don't make no time to do them or don't have time to do them or
Man,
just work and sleep, you know what I'm saying? And then they miss out on the things that they actually love. But all we do is the things that we have to do.
man, I tell you what I do. I freestyle. When
Okay.
ain't nobody around, I go and
Yeah.
freestyle. And I'm telling y'all
Yeah.
right now, bro,
Yeah.
I got more bars than Drake. No, you know how it is.
True
You know
indeed.
how it is
True
though.
indeed
You
though.
know how
Yeah.
it is though, man. When I was really going through things, some of the energy that I released freestyling was what was it
Mm,
for me. And you know
right.
what I mean? And like to this day, like I may not say the coldest stuff, but I'll jump in the cipher no matter what because it made me feel good. It's therapeutic. It's like just you talking that shit, but that shit is within you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like when you see, these guys, I'm talking about a freestyle cipher. When you seeing like
Yeah.
Styles P going in and stuff like that, these dudes got something in them that's what releases that. And like I love that feeling. You know what I'm saying? I've been hopped in a couple ciphers with you, man, my brother. It's just a good feeling, Like
Yeah.
you just get to spit some shit, spit some real shit, spit what's on your heart, spit what's on your mind, let that be free. And for me, that just is how I clear my mind, how I clear my thoughts, how I clear my heart, whatever's ill. You know what I'm saying? And then afterwards, I move on. I take the next step.
What that does for the brain too, it's like they say playing a musical instrument or just like freestyle rapping, that gets your brain
Yes,
working.
sir.
It's sparking, on all cylinders, everything going, and it's good for our brain to be challenged like that, to work. Sometimes when we become adults, we get so lax, and no one challenges us.
True.
We don't challenge ourselves. We don't want to learn shit. You don't gotta teach me nothing. Let me just live. I made it through, especially when you get past 30. Motherfuckers lose all the spark and shit they had when they was 22, because you just happy to be here now. Motherfuckers just happy to be here. I made it, but you lose a lot of spunk. You lose a lot of energy, the go get it, attitude that you had um, to obtain new things. And we got to bring that back too. You got to, you got to work. You got to put the work in, you know what I'm saying? And only then, is it pleasurable to watch, things coming to fruition. I know me, I love the process of conception, putting in work, preparing, actualization, accomplishing something, completing it, and on to the next one. It's a cycle that keeps my
Yes.
life going. And whether that's, it could be as simple as, writing a song for me or playing a campaign in a video game and I want to beat it all the way up into, planting a tree and watching it grow, growing a garden, learning a new talent. It could be anywhere, but start to finish and then start over. Now it's, now it's a cipher, right? And then keep adding on, God, so, but, it's important, man. And I'm happy that we're reminding each other of that. I mean, this podcast started off as just that, a conversation between me and you about a year and a half ago, of just making sure the other person was cool. Like, you smooth fan, what's been going on with you?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
we decided to do it publicly, in this form of content to give that same sense of vibe and togetherness to other people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that we did that. We do have one more message. He is not in the room no more, from someone named, was it VipTran? VipTran, you're still out there if you're listening to this on another station or whatever the case. Thank you so much for being here, for hanging out on Men's Mental Health Monday, 251 Talk Radio, Pro Pittman and Venie The Great. We're going to go ahead and play
You
a message right now, my brother. Let's see what he's talking about.
Coffee normally every day, is that a good idea or a bad idea? If it helps me get through the day, and I do it every day.
It can't be that bad, right? If it's balance, right?
It
If
can
you
be
always
bad
drinking,
if it's Starbucks. It can be
oh
very
word,
bad.
you think so?
Yeah, yeah, bro. I drink Starbucks like 3 times a week, maybe even four on a good week, and it's very bad for you, but it's so good.
Hey, if it helps keep you going, if it pops you up in the, if you're using it for what to wake you up and get you going, go for it, bro. Hope you don't crash. I know Cass and Joe though, boy. Cass and Joe be going crazy off that shit. They call it bankhead out here. They drinking that
Man,
bankhead out here
but I
in
don't.
the
I
Winnebago County Jail. They go crazy off that shit if they ain't got their
Yeah,
coffee.
for
I'm
sure,
glad I
man.
never got into it.
If you think about it though, coffee is the number one leader, and like, well, other than Mountain Dew.
Hmm.
Yeah, do you hear that? Mountain Dew. Yeah. That's the number one caffeinated drink, that people drink, really. Can you believe that though? Mountain Dew over coffee in the morning. That's what people drink more than
In the
coffee.
morning?
But yes, that's an actual
Oh,
statistic. So anyway, but like the most people I know drink coffee. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But to be honest, like 2 glasses of water in the morning is really all you need to wake up.
bang it.
So
I bang freezing cold water. I'm one of them dudes. Like, you gotta be cold. You can't be. I'm cool, G. I need my water cold, G. Like straight
man,
up,
I gotta start
cold
remembering
bottle
putting
of
one in.
water. Hey,
Every time he come over, I gotta put one in there now. All right.
hey, I'll drink, water. Period. But I will bang a cold bottle of water. But what I'm getting at is that's not good for you. Apparently, like to bang cold water like that. I'll do this shit and like get a head rush and be like, oh shit, and be like lightheaded because I like bang the water too fast. My brother's, he drinks room temperature water. Gotta be room temperature, B. That's what he say. I'm like, I can't go, yo. No, sir. I want that shit frothy. I want this to
I'm
pop the
room
ice
temp,
film.
bro. I need. It took me a while to get used to it. I trained my body to do room temp, so
Hmm.
because I used to be the same way.
Word.
So now I
Well, again,
drink
bro,
more water.
I'm thankful that we took this time today to have this quick conversation, to jump back on to the
Yes,
train
sir.
on Monday for men's mental health. Sometimes the conversations will go long, sometimes they'll be short and sweet. Me and Vin just wanted to jump back on and let folks know that we are here. We are back. You can expect us every
We
Monday.
back.
You feel me? Every Monday around this time,
Tune
we
in.
will be here, you know, live on stereo, and then you can check the content out on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, shorts here, reels there, whatever's clever. You know what I'm saying? We'll make sure we get the content out there to you guys. But we do appreciate you guys for being here, for hanging out, just for being part of this cipher, because what we do, we want to facilitate change inside of men, and understanding of the importance of being on top of your mental health. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank y'all so much just for hanging out, for being here with us. And Vinny, thank you as well for being here with me, brother. We will convene at this moment and we will
Yeah.
come back to you guys next Monday. We will keep things going on Men's Mental Health Monday. Um, Thank you again,
Same
and we will
time.
see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.